Hello everyone and welcome to Brookhouse Farm in Bostock. My name is Jason Smith and I'm making this short video because I have entered some young stock into the sale on the 7th of June 2021 at Market Drayton, and I thought it would be very beneficial for anyone that's interested in buying some heifers to make a short and sweet little video to give you guys a little insight as to how the heifers have been reared, and then hopefully it's something that you may be interested in. So firstly, a little bit about the farm. We are a grass-based high forage intake type system. Our cows are producing 9,200 litres on average per year, but 5,500 of that comes from the forage that we produce on the farm. The way that we achieve that is by producing very highly palatable and good quality forage, but also we achieve it through the genetics. So when picking the bulls, I'm looking for sires with large chest width and body depth, as well as obviously making sure that the health and management traits are correct. But they're the two driving points that we go for without gaining too much stature, and that way we can breed into large big intake animals. Our cows are currently eating 17 kilos of dry matter per day, and then they convert that into milk, which is good for me. So starting with the calves that you can see right here behind me, from birth they go into these hutches and are kept together as a pair, and we use this middle hurdle here because it's not long after feeding time, and we like to keep them separate obviously for feeding, so we know exactly how much each calf has drank. So they receive 5 feeds of colostrum, which is tested to ensure the correct quality is given to the calf, and they all have access to hay, corn and water, and they all get fresh bedding every single day. So the reason why we feed them hay is because we're trying to get that scratch factor into the rumen and develop it from a young age. And so they stay on milk for 8 weeks. 5 weeks is twice a day, and then the remaining 3 weeks is just once a day. And then with the pair, they then move into the pens that are behind me. This is our weaned heifer pens. They will be introduced into a 4, and then they'll go into a 6, and with that 6 they'll remain in that 6. This is where they will have their pneumonia vaccination, which is the Risperdal 4. They stay in these weaned heifer pens for around 4 weeks, and then we move them up to the young stock shed, which is where I'm just about to go now, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so this is our young stock shed. This is where the calves will come at around about 4 months, between 3 and 4 months old. They'll get moved up into this shed in their group of 6. That group of 6 will then sort of go into a group of 10. And with that group of 10 they'll then move up the pens, and then eventually they'll get to the pen at the end, which is what we call our cubicle training pen. So just under 12 months old they start getting trained into the cubicles. We've had very, very good results with this pen. We don't really struggle too much to train them into the cubicles. It's a nice open front shed, and they've got the roaming space outside there to get a bit of sunshine. So as you can see, they're all quite happy feeding away. This is also where we change the diet, so they're on a round bale, and the youngest pen is when they start to be weaned off the young stock corn and to be moved onto the dairy cake corn. And then finally, what we have behind me here are the maiden or AI heifers. They come into this pen when they are around about 14 or 13, 14 months old. We can start tracking the heats, and then we aim to start serving around about 14 months. The average calving age is 24 months, and that is our target, which we are achieving currently. So hopefully I've covered everything. I've showed you all the groups where the young stock will be coming from. Hopefully I've answered most of your questions. I guess the number one question that people will be asking me is, why are you selling the stock in the first place? And that's nobody's fault other than my own. Since I've taken the reins off my dad a little bit, I've gone just a bit overboard with the sex semen on cows and heifers, and as an effect of that we now have surplus stock that we are having to sell. And believe me, if I had the extra shed space then I would like to keep these myself, but unfortunately we don't, so that's why we're now having to sell a few. So that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully by the 7th of June you will all have your first cut silage in. It looks like we've got a nice few weeks ahead of us, so make sure you get that first cut silage done, and then you can turn up to the auction on the 7th of June. If you do have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact either me or John T. Cliff from Barbers Auctions, and that's about it. Look forward to seeing you on the day. Goodbye.